Right, so the eagerly anticipated version 4.01 of the iPhone 4 firmware has been launched just a little bit earlier on. The download is finished and I'm just waiting for it to install on my iPhone. Still showing no obvious signs of progress, but I think you can be a bit too enthusiastic about these things applying instantly. The whole idea is that the firmware update was key for them to fix problems with Signal display. Well, as I've already asserted, it's not an issue with Signal display, it's an issue to do with genuine attenuation of the signal from holding the device covering the lower left hand. And once your hand covers that black strip, then the signal drops out, or at least the 3G signal drops out, and that results in a degradation of call quality, a drop in data speed, and really not the experience that you should expect from an Apple device. So, we're seeing a few signs of life from the update. Now, I did test the level of signal on this just before, and true to form, as soon as I hold it in my left hand, the 3G signal drops out. Now, what I'm expecting to see when the firmware updates is a change to the way the signal is displayed. Before, you almost had like a diagonal line running from full signal right the way down to nil. What I'm expecting to see with the firmware update now is for even the lower bars of signal to still represent quite highly. So we'll see whether that's the case. iTunes at present is just saying it's verifying the updated iPhone software. That process is very nearly completed. So I'm expecting this bar to nip across to the end shortly. And then I'll unplug it from the iTunes and find out what happens with the signal, if the battery lasts. Okay, so we're on the home straight. Incidentally, at the same time, a firmware update was brought out for the iPad. That iPad update seems to have addressed a couple of video issues where the video was freezing, and the ability to copy information when you're using a single page PDF file, and it also added the choice of search providers for the internet, for the Safari browser. Now, on the details for the firmware update, this one listed nothing more than a change to the way it displays signal. So, well, obviously have to see the results of that. And we're also expecting an announcement from Apple, or what's going to be 6 PM tomorrow. So, in anticipation of this not being the panacea for all problems, I've got myself booked in for an appointment with the geniuses on Saturday. So, okay, looks like this is going to start the iPhone rebooting. Another progress bar. Lovely jubbly. At the moment, iTunes is backing up the iPhone. Just waiting to see the outcome of that. Never gives you a percentage mark, just a progress bar, but no indication of what level of progress. It's just a case of wait for it to finish. Right. So now reached a 3/4 mark on backing up, and that's completed. synchronising with my iTunes. Synchronisation complete. So, moment of truth time. And strong 3G, and that's what I was referring to. We previously saw a line that went straight down to a minimal level on the left hand side, but now the lower bars are higher. Incidentally, it's now saying I've got less signal. Let me just take my hand away from it completely and see if I get near to 4 bars. Now if I don't get 4 bars, that would then make this the poorest performing 3G device that I've got in the house. Every single device reflects 4 bars worth of signal. Absolutely no sign. And anyone that's seen the coverage video that I had before, I'm right slap bang in an area of strong signal. Hey, right, I'm up to 4, so I'm where I should be. And I'll just confirm the status of the firmware. Okay, that's what we're looking for, version 4.01. So if Apple were to be believed when I went into the store, this should now rectify the issues that I have with signal attenuation. Well, we've gone down from 4 bars to 2 bars. Let's find out if my 3G drops off completely like it did before. 4 bars to 1 bar. Let's find out if it just drops right the way down to edge. And I think that single bar is definitely showing higher than it did when it showed 1 bar previously. But it's not changing the fact that I only have 1 bar worth of signal. Let's see whether this drops down to edge. I'm pretty confident that it will. It's showing all the same symptoms that it did previously. And even still, this is really bad signal attenuation. Well, I'll leave it a little while longer and see if it still happens. Firmware update made no mention of any other changes that were effective from this version. Well, no evidence of a drop off yet. I'm going to pop this on pause and just see if it still drops out over the next couple of minutes. Okay, I'll pop this on pause, see you in a moment.